I'll never forget that drum beat. Bum, 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 bum. And then all of a sudden, it was like the end of The Innocents. I mean, this was like, how could this happen? I mean, it was like, it happened. I mean, we're going, what the heck is going on here?
Switch to the tone frequency. Stay down. All right, go.
We mourned and we all cried, and we watched it on television. The idea of Lyndon Johnson having to come in and fill his shoes was pretty daunting, but he was able to accomplish a lot.
Being a Texan, and of course, you know, I was alive when he was president, although I was a kid. Certainly, I became well aware of him. You can't not know about LBJ if you have any interest in politics. The responsibility of playing someone who you can just immediately look on YouTube or whatever and verify whether or not there's any validity in the performance is a little daunting. Before I started, I was in absolute terror, and it took me probably about a week and a half to 2 weeks before that abated into like an orange alert. You know, I can't impersonate him, and he's too fascinating an individual to even try to impersonate. I wasn't initially thinking that this would be something I would want to do, because when I was young, you know, I'm of age where, you know, I was, draftable during the Vietnam era. LBJ was like the devil. Even now that I'm wanting to like him more than ever because I've been playing him all this for 5 weeks now, I gotta say, I'm still conflicted. Hey, LBJ, how many kids did you kill today? I mean, that's what I was raised on that.
He gets eclipsed by two things. Either Vietnam kind of overshadows everything he's ever done, or the Kennedys eclipse him because they're just so engaging and captivating. Him becoming president is actually the second most important thing that happens that day as far as the national conscience goes.
All of this has never been seen from LBJ's perspective, and including the assassination in Dealey Plaza. We're showing it from, LBJ's point of view, and it's as frightening as any other point of view, if not more.
I think this movie kind of peels away a curtain and says, what was LBJ really going through when he wanted the highest position in the land, and then he was given it through the greatest tragedy in the land?
Woody Harrelson is one of the finest actors in America. I mean, it was the greatest pleasure I ever had working with him. I mean, we had so much fun together. And I think because Woody is a good person, he's a nice person, that whatever rough edges LBJ has, you'll see this humanity that kind of pushes through.
And our Lyndon Johnson was going to look at all the components of the man, the good, the bad, the ugly, the everything. And you really needed an actor who you could kind of go on that journey with. And Woody is such an incredible actor.
Well, I'm not really interested in seeing somebody like just impersonate Lyndon Johnson. I love seeing Woody's take on it, and it's still him.
There's a great line in the film. He says, we're going to get this done because they're going to have to fight against two presidents. He says, one, don't underestimate a president who's a martyr, and one who has a big set of balls.
There will be no compromise, there will be no negotiation, and there will be no failure. This time, Congress won't be fighting a president, it'll be fighting two. Never underestimate the intensity of a martyr's cause or the size of a Texan's balls. Gentlemen?
Everybody has their idea of who Kennedy, Jack was, who Bobby was, and really who the whole family was. I'm trying to create a guy named Jack Kennedy rather than the president that you might think of when you watch The Simpsons.
One of the most inspiring videos I watched was Bobby speaking on the day that Martin Luther King was killed. And you hear him say to an aide, do they know about Martin Luther King? And they say no. And so he tells the audience. And you can hear the gasps and the cries from the audience. Then he quotes Aeschylus. Even in our sleep, pain, which does not forget, falls drop by drop upon the heart, until in our own despair, against our will, wisdom comes by the awful grace of God.
I really wanted to get her essence right. You know, the poise, the elegance, the way she carried herself, the way she spoke. The minute I put that pink suit on, it transports you.
The first time we see Jackie in that pink dress with that pillbox hat, you realize that you're recreating a bit of history. After you've been staring at all these images for so long, and then you see them come to life with the actors and the fantastic wardrobe, the hair on the back of your neck stands up.
Pretty much every time you see Chris looking at a photo of House of Representatives or of Air Force One or the Oval Office, you see Matt George right there by his side, pointing at this and this and this, just kind of fretting over literally every single detail, making sure it was just as it was.
The cool thing is that I think I would have been starstruck about acting opposite Woody Harrelson, but I didn't feel like I was. I felt like I was acting opposite LBJ, so that was pretty wild.